Oh my god.
There goes the maddest woman this town has ever seen. She had a marvelous time ruining everything. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day and welcome to Hello Sintok Show, where today we'll be discussing a very important topic. The lyrics that I quoted earlier was a song called Mad Woman by Taylor Swift, where the song was telling a story about a feisty feminist intent on living her best life, which leads us back to our topic today, drawbacks of feminism. When we mention the term of feminism, I believe that most of us are familiar with the term but does not truly understand the real concept behind the term. Well, feminism is actually wanted to emphasize that everyone is equal, no matter what race, gender identity, sexuality, or religion. Feminism means equality. However, there is stigma on feminism, as feminism is seen by many as classist and racist, among other things. And why is that? Does the concept of feminism has changed? Does feminism brings negative impacts towards the society, although they are fighting for its noble purpose, the equality? To answer all those questions, joining me today are four distinguished guests who will be giving their opinions on the drawbacks of feminism. Now, let's welcome Mr. Amin to start.
About feminism, there arise many different views to them wave by wave throughout history. Are they stay to its foundation or shall they derive from it? The first wave in 19th century, the feminism movement has a simple goal: to ensure that the society recognizes that women are also human and not property. But then, in the second wave that took place in 1960s and 70s, it's about the role of women in society should be. In these ways, emerged different types of feminism. First, the liberal feminism that stressed on the importance of an individual and believed that every woman can assert the place in society and gain the right she deserves. Next, radical feminism, which basically the belief that is male-dominated hierarchy which is responsible for the oppressed status of women, and if changes are not brought about this hierarchy, there can be no equality between men and women. Then, the third and fourth ways of feminism comes, where it becomes conscious of the race and the intersectionality comes to play of the movement. They were critics of white feminism, the issue of transsexual and rejection of woman binary. The movement now had become complex, clashing with each other. This difference makes us wonder whether their views are all actually the same or not to achieve the core principle, or it is just to achieve their own innate desire under the pretense of feminism.
Thank you, Mr. Amin. Now let's welcome Mr. Aiman.
Okay, thank you. So for me, when the topic of feminism is brought to the public, society tends to view this concept as a foreign power which tries to fit into the circle of the community. However, this so-called foreign power could be a detrimental cause to those who are misguided by it. Now, the propaganda introduced by the abnormalities in the feminism have crystallized this movement into an absolute power for their own benefits. Lord Acton once said, "Absolute power corrupts absolutely." According to the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, CEDAW, the bigger the feminism, the bigger the movement and the association. This lead to a bigger corruption due to the fact that the feminists might incite their propaganda to object men in anything related to them onto their society. Therefore, this will make women to fight for gender equality instead of equality of rights, which is the core of the feminism movement. As the corruption of power is expanding within the movement, slowly but surely, oppression against men is also increasing. This has caused male to be targeted and being oppressed in the way women were in the past. For example, in Delhi, there are increased number of false rape cases due to false reports by the victims. The corruption within the feminism have managed to make a false statement against men, which resulting to the future of the accused to be perished. Now, in conclusion, the power crystallized within the feminism is a symbol of corruption which must be avoided.
Wonderful presentation, Mr. Aiman. Now let's welcome Mr. Amir to the stage.
As for me, in the feminism society itself, there exists an elite feminist. The elite feminist has this ongoing idea that man is weak, woman is far superior. This has becoming an anti-male domination movement and agenda. Due to this, nowadays, there are many cases of sexual abuses and non-consensual penetration that involve men as the victims instead of women. In the United States, the report surprisingly showing significant prevalence of female-perpetrated sexual victimization, mostly against men. The authors present what they learned from the National Intimate Partner and Sexual Violence Survey. In the 2010 report, among men reporting other forms of sexual victimization, 68.6% reported towards female perpetrators. And also among men, reporting being made to penetrate, the form of non-consensual sex that men are much more likely to experience in their lifetime is 79.2% of victimized men that reported towards female perpetrators. And according to the paper, when female abuses are reported, they are less likely to be investigated or arrested compared to male perpetrators, who are regarded as more harmful. From this data, we can clearly see how the feminism has strayed from its original path and has become an anti-male domination movement instead of equal rights in all forms of gender, sexuality, and religion. Thank you.
Now let's welcome our last but not least guest of the day, Mr. Hazim.
Thank you, Mr. Zul. The idea of elimination of gender distinction propounded by the radical and postmodern feminism is harmful. Differences indicates difference need, and to disregard it would be a disservice and contrary to the interests of women. Prolong it would inhibit women's strive in obtaining arithmetic equality of opportunity. By embracing differences in preferences, choices, character, talent, and abilities has enabled the modern world to extract the best of both sexes for the greater benefit of the society. According to social studies conducted in the Scandinavia, considered to most egalitarian society in the world, found that equality of opportunity-based legislation and policies has led more women to choose occupation in the medical field, such as nurses, in disproportionate amount compared to men, thus dominating the field. To socially engineer the workforce to be more inclusive of men would be unwarranted. In the long run, it would destructively lead to a brain drain in the sector. Simply put, the existence of differences ought not to cause us to feel inferior or intolerant, but rather to strive for respective betterment at their own term, pace, and accord.
Thank you, Mr. Hazim. So that will be all from Hello Sintok Show. Thank you and see you all next semester. Bye.